When I saw that Joel Embiid was going to be back in the lineup for the Philadelphia 76ers, a guy who has barely played this season, I knew that it was going to be a long shot to win this game for the Bulls, given Embiid historically has always killed this team. But to my surprise, the Bulls actually made this a game. Now, yes, there were some bad stretches, particularly in the second quarter, where the Bulls could not buy a basket. I believe they had a total of 4 field goals in that entire quarter alone, and the Bulls would go down by as many as 19 points at one point in the game, but somehow managed to work their way out of it and bring it within 4 in the fourth quarter. Momentum was on their side. The Sixers started turning the ball over. They were getting their stops, but some poor executions down the stretch enabled the Sixers to close this one out in a much needed win for them. Like I mentioned in the last postgame video, just like the Pacers, the Sixers are another team that has gotten off to a very slow start, and they need to manufacture as many wins as possible just to ensure they have a shot at a postseason run. What I will say though is that I know their big three has only played a handful of minutes together, today being one of them, but they're not as good as people thought they would be. I mean, they played one of the worst defensive teams in the league in the Chicago Bulls and only mustered 108 points on 46% shooting and a measly 25% from three. They don't move the ball very well. They're not great in transition. Their spacing on the floor is limited, even though they thought they would open that up by bringing in Paul George. They're still going to be a good team. They will make the playoffs despite their early season struggles, but they're not even close to being a title contending team, which was the goal of the offseason in bringing a big name free agent like Paul George, who has been pretty underwhelming for them thus far. But anyway, enough about the Sixers though. Let's talk about the Bulls. Bulls, a great first quarter. They were attacking the basket, they were pushing the pace and keeping the Sixers on their toes. Embiid was missing shots left and right. They were closing out on the boards, and then everything just kind of fell off after that. They got outscored in the second quarter, 39-17, and yes, they made some runs in the second half to make it a game to get it down to the wire. That second quarter, though, really is what did it for the Bulls in deciding this game. The Sixers took advantage of the Bulls' poor defense, and the Bulls were chucking up threes like they were the Warriors of 2017, but they were clanking off the iron. The Bulls put up another 54 threes in this game. It's now becoming commonplace to see the Bulls put up 50-plus threes when just 2 seasons ago, they didn't even average above 30 threes per game. The problem, though, is the Bulls, they got some good looks, especially good looks in the final minutes to potentially try and eke out a win. The shots just were not falling, and the Bulls went 19 for 54 overall from 3. Not a terrible shooting percentage at 35%, but it led to a lot of one-and-done possessions, which enabled the Sixers to score on the other end. Like, I get why the Bulls were preferring to go outside when Joel Embiid is down low, but going inside was actually working for them in the first quarter. They were aggressive in driving to the basket, and with Embiid still not 100% healthy, he wasn't the interior presence that we're used to seeing, so why not continue going inside, cut to the basket, utilize and take advantage of the pick and roll opportunities, and get easy buckets that way, especially when the long ball wasn't falling. But no, the Bulls just kept chucking them. Zach LaVine was the only guy feeling it from deep in this game. He shot 6 for 14 from 3, 10 for 21 overall, good for 30 points to go along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists. Man, some of those moves from Zach with the reverse layup and spin moves in the paint on a fast break, I tell you, this guy is playing some of the best basketball of his career, back to his first All-Star season in 2021. He did have 5 turnovers though, that needs to be cleaned up. Kobe White struggled again from 3, going 3 for 11. He finished with 13 points and 5 assists. 0 turnovers though, and he did finish with a +5 in this game. Nikola Vucevic only got up 7 shots in this game, which you would expect when he's battling against Joel Embiid. The offense is going to come in other areas. He ended up playing limited minutes as well compared to some of the other starters, just 29 minutes. You saw Jalen Smith getting more playing time than usual. Same with Matas Buzelis, who put in 24 minutes, which I like seeing. Vucevic just 13 points in this game, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. He did have 4 steals though. And then Josh Giddey, still been having a rough time with that shot and also still with some bad turnovers, especially at ill times in the game. But he was impactful when he was on the court in this game, not only with his 11 assists, but actually playing defense tonight while not fouling. And while Vucevic and LaVine were both a -13 in the box plus minus category, Giddey finished even, which is saying something considering they all played around the same number of minutes. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 11 assists, 2 steals, and a block for Josh Giddey. The bench is where the Bulls struggled tonight in this game. Good contributions from Jalen Smith with some big threes, especially that half-court buzzer beater at the end of the third to bring the lead within single digits. Matas struggled with his shot today, 0 for 5 from 3, 2 for 7 overall. But he was a +13 on the game and actually did a great job at staying on his man and impacting the defensive end of the floor. It was good to see Lonzo Ball closing out this game. Billy yet again opting for another guard over Giddey to finish out a close game. And I mean, it makes sense because while both of them are high IQ players, Lonzo just has much better presence of mind on both ends of the floor at the end of games to be able to get a quick stop, force a turnover, and push it up ahead in transition. He didn't shoot the ball well, but like I said, nobody really did in this game for the Bulls. Lonzo going 1 for 7 from the field, 1 for 5 from 3, but 0 turnovers despite being the Bulls' primary ball handler when he was on the floor. The Bulls shot 40% in this one overall as a team, even worse than their shooting against the Indiana Pacers the other night. No wonder they also got killed on the glass, getting out-rebounded 56-35. 2 offensive rebounds for the Bulls despite all of their misses. That was the most they could muster when it came to second chance opportunities, despite the fact they were clanking so many of their attempted shots. Yeah, not good. The Bulls are going to be getting an extended break now, though. They won't be playing until Friday, where they will face off against the Charlotte Hornets at home. A rarity in today's NBA to have that many days off. A lot of time to rest, practice, regroup, hone in on some of the things that they really have been lacking, defense, and hopefully it's enough rest in between time for Patrick Williams to be back in the lineup come Friday. Although I feel like a lot of Bulls fans have already forgotten about him with what we've been seeing from Modest Bucelis. I'll have some scattered content throughout the week, though. I'm actually traveling on business this week, but I'll do what I can. Until then, guys, as always, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.